Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is messages from your spirit guides. So I was going to do a more like celestial reading. That was one that I had prepared. I've already filmed half of it, but I was really drawn to do more of a guidance reading. And I know sometimes like spirit like to say sometimes it's not about what you want, it's what you need, and I felt like this was more needed right now, a guidance reading, so that's what we're doing. I will get the other video up at one point though. So yeah, let's get in. So we have 3 piles for you guys to choose from. Pile number 1 is the Lyran soapstone. Pile number 2 is the Howlite Sophia. And pile number 3, let's just get that to stay. Pile number 3 is the Tiger's Eye. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual. And I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what messages your spirit guides have for you. So you guys chose the Lyran soapstone. I'm going to start with these cards and then we're going to move into your oracle cards. So let's get straight in. Pile number 1. Straight away I'm being shown waist beads. Either you wear them a lot or you're being told to wear them. That was just something that I was shown straight away. Oh my god. One of your cards just dropped straight on the floor. Okay, so we have release that's just dropped onto the floor before I've even began. Pile number 1, please spirit guides tap me into my pile 1s. What message do my pile number 1s need to hear? We have success. I don't know if you guys watch Friends a lot, but I'm being shown there's this scene of Phoebe, who's like kind of like the funny whimsical one, and she has this song called Smelly Cat and she sings it all the time with this particular tune. And when she meets her dad for the first time, he tells her a song he used to sing to her, and it was the lyrics were sleepy girl, why won't you go to sleep, or something like that, to the same tune as the Smelly Cat song. And I heard that in my head, like sleepy girl, why won't you go to sleep. I almost feel like spirits, they're almost like putting a pillow under your head, like rest, rejuvenate. And there's almost this feeling like I almost feel like a parent trying to get my child to go to sleep at night, like just rest, just go to sleep. Because obviously as an adult, you rest, you'll wake up fresh. If you don't go to sleep, you'll be really tired in the morning, you won't be able to get anything done, right? And then as a kid, you don't want to hear that. You're like, no, I want to stay awake. There's almost this message strongly from spirit, like rest. It's coming through really strong. And I keep being shown the color blue. Why is the color blue even coming through though? Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, I'm being taken to like someone that's done a lot of healing. I'm not that like, okay, I'm still continuously doing shadow work, I'm still continuously healing, but once you've done a lot of like inner work and you've been releasing a lot of wounds and a lot of trauma, our physical body then needs to play catch up. And what can happen is a lot of physical illnesses may come up in our physical body as a result, or our physical body is then going through a state of purging and releasing wounds that we've been releasing energetically. For me, like I used to suffer with anxiety and I'd have anxiety attacks a lot, but I never dealt with a panic attack until I started doing shadow work and I went through like a really big ego death, and then all of a sudden it was like panic attack, and I to this day still deal with panic attacks or like disassociation, and it's still something I'm working through. So there's a message that you guys may be recently dealing with anxiety, dealing with panic attacks, dealing with fight or flight, and there's a strong urge right now. There's like a pathway that spirit's calling you down in regards to like healing your physical body, tapping into your nervous system, teaching your physical body peace. I feel like you've almost started teaching your spirit and your mind, like your mind that, but I almost feel like mental health wise and physical body wise, there's this energy like spirits like wanting to soothe you in a way and finding new ways to bring peace into your life. That's like a really strong message that Spirit's wanted to talk about in this reading. We'll get into what they mean, but that's coming through. So pile number 1, please. Pile number 1, please. Spirit guides, what do my pile number 1s need to hear right now? So we have manifestation. We have worthiness. One more card, please, Spirit guides. What do my pile number 1s need to hear right now? We have hitting your target as well. I feel like you guys put a lot of your worthiness in being the own hero in your own hero's journey. And we'll get into it now. The back of the deck, very aptly, we have self-care at the back of the deck. So that makes sense. So I'll put that in the middle by here because I feel like that's what we're centering the reading around. Yeah, I feel like you guys have almost centered your worthiness in regards to being the own hero in your own hero's journey. It's like, how do I explain it? It's like you've almost had to have this hyper independence. I'm really feeling like a tightening in my chest. Some of you guys have been having really tight chests or not being able to breathe, and I think that's something to do with like stress, I'm being told. I can't like diagnose everything because I'm not like a doctor or anything like that, but I'm feeling this tightness, which Spirit keeps saying stress. They're telling me to talk about, because some of you guys may have it. I would get, and I still get it sometimes, usually after a flare-up of my hormones, my throat goes really tight and I feel like I'm choking, and I keep having to like kind of stretch my throat as if I can't breathe through my throat, if that makes sense. So Spirit's telling me to talk about that in case some of you guys are going through that, but then for others of you, I'm being shown a tightness in the chest. I can't breathe, and then convincing myself I can't breathe. And what I'm being told that is, you know, when you look at a movie of people that had to be hyper independent because they had to kind of like fight for their lives in ways, I'm thinking of like the Hunger Games and like Katniss Everdeen, and she obviously had to be like the Mockingjay. She had no choice but to kind of be hyper independent and fight for her life and fight for other people's lives. She never asked for it, but she was placed as like this warrior. And at the end of the movie, even though everything's calm, she has like a baby with her obviously, and she has a very peaceful life, but she says to her baby who's crying, she's like, did you have a nightmare? And she's like, I get nightmares still, right? And that really like stuck with me because I find that when we go through trauma and we do that healing and we are open to that peace, when that peace comes in, sometimes we don't recognize it because we're still walking around with our sword. We're still walking around in fight or flight. It's like we can manifest peace, we can manifest success, but then when the success comes, we're still in that mode mentally of we need to keep going. So we almost, you know, that gold that we've just earned, we almost stick it in our pocket. We don't appreciate it because there's still more to be earned. We keep going. It's like when you're cycling, I'm almost being shown somebody cycling really fast to get up a hill, but they're at the top of the hill, but they haven't taught their legs yet, or their legs are so used to cycling, their legs are still going round and round. And even though their legs needed to go round to get to the top of the hill, it's now hurting them and it's physically causing them pain because legs are still moving round and round when they get to the top of that hill. And there's almost this feeling like from your spirit guides, like you're at the top of the hill, you've made it, take a deep breath. Like there's this strong, I don't know why I want to cry, like there's almost this feeling like I still need to fight, I still need to like I still have my sword in my hand, I'm still waiting for something to go wrong, I'm still waiting for it. And Spirit's like, no, you're at the top of the hill, like you're here, breathe, you know? Or it's like, I've got this success, but my worthiness is on reaching even more success, so I need to keep going. And I'm being shown like hill, and then it's going down, and then up, and then it's going down. It's like up, down, and it's like when life is slowing down for you, I almost feel like you may think that there's something wrong and you speed up even faster. So whereas, you know, you reach the top of the hill and then you have that steep down and you can rest and maybe take things slower, it's almost like you rush down the hill to rush back up. I'm almost being shown it like you have work on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday, but then on a Tuesday and Thursday, it's like I'm going to keep working to hone my skills on those Tuesdays and Thursdays. So by the time it hits Friday, you're super tired and you can't complete a certain task, because you're so tired, because you worked on days it might have been better to rest. And Spirit's saying it not in a way like you're doing anything wrong, and I hope it's not coming across that way, apologies if it is. It's more in a way of, please give yourself permission to rest. Please give yourself permission to have fun. Please give yourself permission to just lay in the bath, listen to music and chill out. Yes, things may be a little slower, but trust that you're protected and trust that you're being looked after. I keep being shown like, we're here. It's like I'm waiting for this new paradigm to come, but the paradigm's here, but I can't see it because I'm still building more and more and more, you know? And I'm hearing this song by Janae Aiko, her song Ascension, and she sings, what do you do it for? What are you running for? What are you running towards? What are you trying to prove? What have you got to lose? What is the path you choose? So it's almost like your mind's still ready to fight, and the Spirit wants you to turn your attention to your physical body and yourself right now, and really tuck it in on like self-care and nurturing your body and nurturing yourself, because I'm being told where you're headed, there's like, they're not giving me a time frame, but they're saying that life's gonna speed up soon, and Spirit wants you to rest to be ready for it. Spirit wants you to chill out to be ready for it. I don't know if you have plans coming up, because Spirit's saying some of you have got plans, maybe to take a course, maybe there's an ascension brewing, you know, maybe there's maybe there's a relationship up ahead, or there's new friendships up ahead, or there's a whole shift in your reality to bring even more abundance in. And Spirit really want you to enjoy that. Spirit's like, they want you fresh and ready for it. But there's almost this feeling like, no, I've got to keep going, I've got to keep going, I've got to keep going. And Spirit's singing that song from Friends, like, sleepy girl, why won't you go to sleep? Doesn't matter what gender you are, it's just like the song, that's the lyrics of the song. Spirit's saying that, like, why don't you just rest? Because I almost feel like, especially in regards to work and career, I feel like you may be reaching dead ends, or you may be finding obstacles. Obstacles are not meant to put a fork in the road and end where you're at. They're not meant to create chaos. They're literally there for you to slow down. You know what I mean? You know, like I say, when there's like a wall in front of you on your road, it's not there to stop you. It's there for you to rest before you continue, to lean against before you continue. And that's a really strong message right now. But there's something about the physical body nurturing, something about the nervous system, and allowing the dust to settle. That's like a really strong message, because the fact that we have release, I almost feel like you have been still purging a lot of wounds out, and I keep being shown like it's like okay, I don't know if you've seen Harry Potter, when Voldemort dies and his face, it dissolves, but it turns into what can only be described as maybe ash or petals, and they peel off his face. It's like a lot of karmic energies, a lot of wounds are like dropping off you and falling out, and I just feel like you may not even be aware of that. You may not even be aware that it's happening, like karmic layers being released to welcome in this new beginning. And Spirit's like, while this is happening in your energy field, rest, start turning inwards, set a new paradigm now where you can have time to chill out, you can have time to rest. And it's like, you're still wanting to like keep going, because I think it's still in your mindset. And you may have been drawn to the pile in the post that I did the other day. And if you didn't read the post, I'll talk about it. Sometimes when we've done a lot of healing and a lot of letting go and removing traumas, we do a lot of that self-love, and we start to teach ourselves, hey, it's okay to rest, it's okay to chill out, it's okay to take a breather. So what happens is, when we've been teaching our inner child that, and we've been teaching our body that, we've been teaching our physical body that, at one point our physical body hears it loud and clear and is like, oh my god, okay, you love me, you want to take care of me, okay, I'm gonna rest. Okay, that's cool, I'm gonna rest. But our mental side, our brain needs to catch up, right? So our brain is like, oh my god, what's going on? I can't work, I can't do anything, I have no interest in being with my friends or doing my hobbies, I have no interest in it, because all I want to do is lay down and be still and I don't understand, something's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Your body's just heard you loud and clear after all that healing you've done, all that releasing you've done very beautifully. Your body's just heard, I can rest. So your body does that, it rests, and it doesn't just rest for the now, it rests for all the times that it was on go, 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 go mode, right? But the mental body's still playing catch up, so the mental body's like, no, we need to keep going, we need to keep going. And the body's like almost pulling, like, no, you just said we can rest, you just taught me that we can rest, you've just taught me this, you've just taught me this, and it's tugging the mind back down, and then the mind's going, there's something wrong, but there's nothing wrong. It's your body saying, okay, I've heard you loud and clear, it's nap time. It's not, let's just take a minute out. Let's just take a minute out. But your brain's still telling yourself, we can't stop. We've got to keep going. And that song, and it's come through in a reading before, Vienna by Billy Joel. I never know how to say his last name. Billy Joel. Vienna. Yeah, I just shared it. Slow down. You're doing fine. So there's a strong message right now to just ride the waves and surrender to stillness. There's this strong urge to be meditating. Meditating is like a big tool that I'm being called for you guys to use right now. Meditating, singing bold music without so many lyrics. Do you listen to music that's very like techno or like really hard lyrics, or maybe you listen to like rap or really like low music or the very loud music? There's almost this sense of like softness. Spirit wants you, and the color blue is ushering in really strongly. If you can wear the color blue, keep the color blue on you. I feel like that would really help, as well as like blue crystals, like celestite, blue calcite, crystals like that. I just feel like there's such a strong resonance. I keep being shown like a blanket, like rest, just rest, and enjoy where you're at right now before you go again, because there's something coming up. I know we're in August now. I know Virgo season's coming up. Maybe you have some things planned for Virgo season. Maybe you're going to be getting your head in the game. There's something coming up that Spirit's like, you're going to be applying yourself to. And Spirit's saying, whatever it is you're applying yourself to, they're saying that it means a lot to you. So if that means a lot to you, rest up ready for it. Because we want you to apply yourself when you do that, for it to flow effortlessly. And if you keep pushing yourself now, you're not going to be able to do it. And there's something that means a lot to you, like a career path or something you've really been manifesting in, that Spirit want you to be like fresh out the shower, brand new outfit on, ready for. They're almost like signaling like this is something you really want or really wanted, or it's just maybe like a lifestyle. Maybe you have a plan to like shift your lifestyle a little bit. Or be, head down in your career and going for the prize again. And so it's like, we want you to have that too, because we know how much it means for you. So let's just flow for a second is a really strong message. I used to try and cheat that. So I would be like, right, okay, I want to take about 2 weeks off. Because Spirit would send me the message, you need to rest, right? So I'm like, I want to take 2 weeks off. So what I would do was I'd cram 3 weeks worth of work, right? Channeling now. That's a lot of energy. I would try and cram. I would try to, it wouldn't work. 3 weeks worth of work, right? Into 1 week. I'd be like, boom, 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 but I would just crash and burn. And then I'd have to take even longer time off, because it was like I still wasn't getting the message to just flow. And the fact that you chose the Lion soapstone as well, like when we look at the Lion and we look at like the strength card, right, in tarot, and she tames the beast. She doesn't kill the beast. She doesn't, she tames the beast. And there's a lot of patience, a lot of effort that goes into taming that beast, right? And I feel like you are such like a warrior like that. There's this energy like you've almost had to be that warrior. Like I was saying about the Hunger Games, when you have movies where there's that hero, and they have no choice but to be the hero. They have no choice but to, step in for people. They have no choice but to be that warrior. I feel like you've been in that mode, and beautifully you've done that. And it's like, Spirit's like, yeah, it's time to rest now. It's time to rest. You know that TikTok sound, and like people do something and then it's like, there's a sound and it goes, it's like a reward. I'm being shown somebody like laying in bed, for some reason got a Nintendo Switch. I don't know if that's something you use. Going, it's like a reward. Like you've earned your stripes, you've earned your medals. Just rest now. Enjoy the luxury. It's like, when people don't have a lot of money growing up, so they don't have a lot of food, so then and I do this, right? I'll buy extra, not because I need it, but because my brain's telling me just in case. I do that to this day. It's like just in case, you know? Or I've got to work a ton just in case. Or I've got to, you know, at night, I've got to be sleeping with one eye open just in case. And Spirit's saying, you're safe. It's time to nurture your body and tell your body we're safe. And it's time to tell your mind we're safe. So you can close both eyes and get a good night rest, you know? So there's nurturing coming in from Spirit, but there's also nurturing that Spirit want you to have for yourself right now. And it's like, there's a strong message that you're at the top of the mountain. Please enjoy the view. Please enjoy the view. Eat the berries at the top, you know. They were more delicious at the top. You've worked to get those berries. Eat them. Just enjoy this moment, because it's not going to last. You know, that's the beauty of life. Your bad times don't last, but the good times don't last either, because we're always in a state of flow. And that teaches us to appreciate the good times and surrender to the bad times, because we know good's about to come too. So you're being asked to appreciate this time now and just be in this state of stillness right now. Yeah, that's something I'm being told. It's funny because there's a wasp trying to get in. I don't know if it's going to get in. I'm going to continue to talk even if it does come in, right? But before I started this video, and a wasp actually did come in, and I had to wait 20 minutes before it started. A bit of a delayed, you know, delayed gratification, a delayed response, right? So I couldn't film when I wanted to. And I had to wait for the wasp to go. So I thought, I'm not going to get stressed. I'm just going to wait patiently. The windows are open. It will leave. And as I'm filming and as I'm speaking, there's a wasp trying its hardest to get into the window. So I think that little physical things might be happening to stop you from maybe pushing yourself right now with a workout routine, or pushing yourself right now with your career, or pushing your, like, because it's like Spirit's almost manifesting into the physical, like, let's rest, let's chill, let's rest. That's the biggest message here, because with worthiness and hitting your target, it's like you've almost used all your bows, hit the targets perfectly, and now you're searching for a stick to carve into a bow to keep hitting the target, you know? It's almost feeling like there's not, it's not enough. I gotta keep going, but it's reminding me when you have like music and you keep skipping really fast, and even though you've stopped skipping, it still continues to skip for a little bit because of how fast you were going. I feel like sometimes you'll do things to the extreme. Spirit saying to loosen the reins. Because as well, I'm also being told in regards to manifestations as well, and that being in the middle, it's like, how do I explain this? Spirit saying, when you have your eye on the prize on that mountain, and you're telling the universe, right, I've got to get to this mountain, and you keep going and going, you're like, the mountain, there could be like a tiny hill to your right of abundance that would be like a manifestation, but you're so hell-bent against the top of the mountain that this prize you don't see. And that's another message that Spirit's like referencing here. When you move slower and you walk slower, you're able to see the fruits and the flowers, and it's more of a journey. And Spirit's saying as well, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. I'm sure there's like a Winnie the Pooh quote, and it's like something about like who you meet along the way is more of like the prize. And I can't remember the actual quote. It was something to do with that. And that's something coming through like really, really strongly. And I keep being shown like slow and steady wins the race, like the hare on the tortoise, like be the tortoise, you know what I mean? Yeah. I think there's something about nature and the way nature's so slow and takes its time. There's patience there. There's a message of that as well. Like when animals know it's time to hibernate, they hibernate. When animals know it's time to come out, it's time to come out. And I wouldn't say that this is a hibernation period for you. I would say that this is a time for you to really savor what you built before you try to build again. You know, you've built a home. You know, like when you see celebrities and they build like a home, they do it all out, they build it up, and then before they even live in it, they go and build another home again, and they build another one, and that's like cool, whatever, but they don't savor where they're at. You know, like this is just my opinion, but you know, when you see celebrities and they have like 5 cars, could be that they like cars, that's cool, but like they don't appreciate that one car. It's almost just like, oh, it's a car, it's another car, it's another car, and Spirit's like wanting you to savor where you're at and how far you've come and how much you've shifted and changed. Like, look at where you were a year ago, look at where you were 2 years ago, look at where you were 3 years ago, like look at where you are now, because there's something about like you've made it, you know. But it's almost like the mentality is I need to keep going. It's like a wheel, and it's your time to jump off the wheel for a minute. Yeah. The sun goes down to give us rest. You know, our energy levels can go low because it's a time for us to replenish. There's nothing wrong is a strong message here. There's just a strong message to rest. So we have the grandmothers. Remember your roots, perspective, trust the weave-ins. I'm going to lay 3 cards. No, I'm going to lay 2 cards. I don't know why I'm doing it that way. Pile number 1, please, Spirit Guides. We have come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance desires. Yeah, I think this is another thing as well. You're in your masculine energy, which was needed to build or get you somewhere. And now it's time to fall back into your feminine energy of receiving. And it's like you're still in the masculine energy trying to like boom, 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 like push, you know. And it's very normal. Like, you're not doing anything wrong. It's very normal. But take this message that it's, give your body the permission, give your mind the permission that it's time to fall back. We have held, sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. Spirit is around you really, really strongly right now. Almost like holding your hand, it feels. I'm hearing that song that you sing to babies, like Hush Little Baby. And I'm almost, do you guys, to soothe yourself, tickle yourself, massage yourself, rub your skin, play with your hair, something like that? I don't know why, it's reminding me of my dad. When he was still in my life when I was young, he used to stroke my nose to help me go to sleep, and Spirit's like almost grabbing my hand and stroking my nose as if like to tell you guys there's something that would have been done to you or something that you used to do to like help yourself be calm, and Spirit's almost calling you to do that in a way of self-soothing, to tell yourself, like every time your mind's saying no, we need to be doing this, we need to be doing that, it's like, you know, you've already given your body the permission to rest. That's why your body is resting. So when your mind's saying it, to kind of like soothe your brain, because I feel like your brain's going like 100 miles per minute, and being told for you guys to do that to soothe you. I keep being like doing this on my hands, so I don't know if that's it, or even like you guys just holding something that like a stress ball, like a fidget spinner. Remember fidget spinners? I used to play with them when I had anxiety in my call center job that I had years and years ago. So that's coming through. I know they help. Or even slime, you know, when people play with slime, like putty and stuff, like Play-Doh, there's something about that coming through as well, just nourishing your body, taking care. There's something about taking care with the food you're putting in your body too. That again, on my post the other day, I was talking about maybe needing to eat foods that had more water in them, or drink a lot more water, so like fruits and things like that. I feel like that would help you. I keep being taken to citrusy foods like lemons, oranges. I know oranges help with depression. I know that, because my friend always tells me that. It's like, if you smell an orange, it makes you happy. I was like, oh, okay. And I know lemon detoxes, so foods like that, and limes and grapefruits and things, I feel like that would be really helpful for you too. I'm being shown bananas as well. I'm also being told vitamin C, for you guys to get some vitamin C in there. I don't know what fruits have vitamin C, but that's what I just shared. So let me just read the cards. The grandmother, remember your roots, perspective, trust the weave-ins. Yeah, it's like when you look at like spiders and they create their webs, they're going up and down and right and left, and they never worry, why am I going down? Is that wrong? It's the human brain that's like, rest is wrong and keeping going is right, and we have to keep like fighting because that's the only way we're safe. If we rest, it's bad. It's like our brain tells us good, bad. In the 3D, everything's good, bad, this is good. It's like the God is good and the devil is bad. It's like we've always got to have that construct of good and bad, and I feel like there's something that you're doing that you've given your body permission to do, which is like rest, but then your mind hasn't learned yet. Your mind's still catching up, because that's the last thing that usually stops and ends up getting the message, because of the neurons, those pesky little neurons. They kind of stick to what they know, and you have to kind of rewire, and I feel like that's a really strong message to be aware of that right now. And attracting like a rose, receive abundance, desires come to me. The fact that that's coming through, again, it's ushering you into your divine feminine energy, ready to receive. Because again, when I was saying about something coming up ahead, maybe that's abundance coming in or something coming in, but it's like spirit wants you to signal to the universe, like, okay, I've made room, I've rested up, I'm ready to receive. And it's like a switch. When you switch into the energy of receiving, things start to flow in, and that's a really strong message for you guys right now. But I guess the purpose of the message is to hang up your bow and arrow for a sec, take your shoes off. I'm almost being shown someone with really tight shoes and they got blisters and they keep on going, and spirit's like, right, take them off now, it's rest time. And you're like, no, I want to keep, I've got to keep my shoes on in case I need to jump up again. And spirit's like, it's safe, put some fuzzy socks on, lie down. And you're like, eye open still, like, well, I need to do this. And spirit's like, I see you guys like going to meditate and then going, right, no, because I need to do this. Or you're saying, I can't meditate because I've got to do this, and this. And it's reminding me of that quote that's like, when people, I always butcher quotes because I never remember them fully, because I get downloads, so they're not said to me. But it was like a quote that if someone says they haven't got time to meditate, then they're the person that really needs to meditate the most. Something like that. And that's really coming through. It's like, next couple of weeks, I'm being told, just smooth, slow and steady. That's what I'm really calling for you guys to do, because there's a reason things are moving a bit slow. There's a reason things are in the way right now. I almost feel like Ganesha might work with you, because as well as Ganesha removing obstacles, he also puts obstacles in your path to, maybe get you to rest, or maybe get you to see something. And we're only able to see clearly when we stop. Have you ever tried reading a text when you're walking really fast or running? It's hard, but when you stop and you read it, you can see. So there's something about that coming through. So Pile 1, I really hope this gave you the clarity that you needed. I really hope this helped you. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what guidance and messages your spirit guides have for you right now. So I'm going to start with this deck, and then we're going to get into your oracle cards. I'm going to get straight in. Okay, so straight away I'm hearing the song If God Spoke by Chloe and Halle. And they sing, I remember when you yelled at me, cursed my name, and then you stomped your feet. And basically in that song, they're talking about God. Obviously, they believe in God. You can apply this to the universe, whatever you believe in. And basically, God in that song is saying, I remember when you yelled at me. I remember when you, didn't think that you were going to get the blessings that you deserved, but then you ended up having them. And she sings like wait, as in like the universe, God, whatever, is saying wait, just hold on, just wait, and promising like the singer that like they're gonna receive what they asked for. And there's almost this feeling of like, either I just want to give up, like I'm frustrated, like, and honor this, I'm with you, I feel you, I've been there, I was there a couple of days ago. But yeah, there's this feeling of like frustration and I just want to give up. Or there's a feeling of, well, why did they get such an easy life? Like there's almost like looking around you like, well, they have an easy life and they have an easy life, and this person, that hurt me, they're now in a relationship and they're fine. And this, like, there is a feeling of that, and you're allowed to feel this. You're allowed to feel that before I go any further. And I think Spirit's wanting to give you clarity and give you a message as to where you're at right now and why you're feeling this way. But just allow yourself to grieve and allow yourself to feel these frustrations, because they're part of the journey. I know in the spiritual community there's a huge emphasis on, yes, love and light, we have to bypass these feelings. You shouldn't envy other people, or you shouldn't be, you know, looking at other people, and that's true. But at the same time, if we're feeling something, we do not block it and bypass it. We feel it. It's a part of us. It's something that we need to feel. Allow yourself to feel that. Pile number 2, please. Pile number 2, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 2. What guidance do pile number 2 Spirit Guides have for them? So we have deep sleep. I'll lay the cards and then I'll channel. Pile number 2. Success. Pile number, we have shield. What's the saying? Rejection is divine protection. That's the saying I just shared. Rejection is divine protection. Safe travel. One more card then, please. Let me just move these over. I almost feel like normally I'll fill the space and talk and continue to channel, but Spirit's almost like wanting to leave gaps, like to hold space for you. Whether you're just wanting to vent or just feel that frustration, you're safe to just bring it up if you need to. That's what we do in these readings. We hold space. I'm holding space for you. We have hitting your target. Okay. And the back of the deck, we have space clearing, which I'm going to place there for now. Okay. Okay. So I'm being shown this picture that I was shown not long ago, and it was 2 jigsaw puzzles, right? And you know, like jigsaw puzzles, there'll be like a piece cut out of one side of the puzzle, and then on the other part that slots in with it, they've got a piece sticking out that fits in. Do you get what I mean? It's like, oh my god, that just doesn't look right, does it? But you know what I mean? Like there'll be like a hole like this, and then, oh my god, you know what I mean, right? So there was 2 jigsaw puzzles, right, that fit together. They were obviously a couple, right? And they're sitting on the couch together, and they turn to the person sitting on the floor and they say, well, why are you single? Why don't you have anyone? But when you look at the puzzle that's on the floor, it doesn't just have one tiny hole with a thing sticking in. It has a whole labyrinth, right, for someone to match. Now, when we've met a labyrinth within ourselves, a very simple and plain and just like a jigsaw piece with just one piece sticking out, it's not going to fit, because they don't have the layers to fit that puzzle that has all these things within it, right? And the whole message of that was, when you have a lot of depth, when you have a lot of emotional depth, when you are self-aware or you're awake to something, you then need to match that with someone that is also going to have that depth within them, be awake to that, whatever the case. The thing about you, Pile 2, is that you have a very strong emotional depth and you have a very strong heart. So you need a heart that matches that. And I feel like you're looking around right now at people that may be in relationships and people that may have this, and that. But are they truly happy though? Or is it just smoke and mirrors? People that may have all of this, like you hear people all the time, they have all of this money, but it's like at times more money, more problems, or they have all of that money, but it doesn't mean anything. You know, like when you see people and they have like a bunch of cars or a bunch of houses or a bunch of jewelry, it's like they have it, but there's no longer a meaning to it. It just is. Like it's just another, you know, thing on that bow. It's reminding me of the Kali Ucha song, Teeth in Your Neck. And she says that You know, certain people, they'll worship diamonds and pearls just to hold it. You know what I mean? They'll do anything for it just to hold it, right? It doesn't bring them happiness. And even people, when you see relationships sometimes, and, you know, there's loads of different reasons why people get into relationships, but just because somebody's in a relationship doesn't mean they're happy, you know? And they're saying that, you know, this, maybe you've been in a relationship where you weren't entirely happy, or things may have looked great on your end, but you may have been really going through it with a particular partner, or maybe you've witnessed your parents show this happy life, but in actuality, they weren't very happy, whatever the case. And the thing about you is, you're a very authentic person, and I feel like you have to apply your heart to something. You have a very pure heart. So for you to apply your heart to something, that has to be pure too. And it can sometimes be a bit of a rare gem in the 3D specifically, when everyone's taught money bitches always, like, I don't know why I hear that, when everyone's taught money and you've got to look like this, you've got to act like this, you've got to have a relationship for this, you've got to have all of this. But it's like people will sell their soul, and by that they'll sell their heart. They'll ignore their heart and their emotions and what truly makes them happy to chase after a diamond necklace or what looks like a relationship. And there's another thing I'm being told as well, is that, they're taking me to a conversation I had with Spirit the other day, and I said, there's so much pull and gravitation towards spirituality right now. But yet when I go on some places like TikTok, there's a lot of misinformation. And I don't understand it, because I was saying, like, to reach that level of awareness within you, you've got to do the shadow work. You've got to really apply yourself to it. You know, you've really got to do that work. And there's a lot that comes with it. And you know this as well, right? With a spiritual journey, I'm being told you know that. And I was like, so why are people still getting upset when they're hearing about the shadow and they're hearing about having to heal and release? I saw someone on TikTok the other day, someone was talking about manifestations, and someone commented, yeah, but how do you do this without doing the shadow work? Because I don't want to do any of that. I just want the abundance. How do I do that? And there was a particular person that was almost like bypassing, yeah, you don't need to do, you know, shadow work. You don't have to release your wounds. You just have to sign up to my something, and I'll teach you how to, you know. And I was just like, I don't get this. So I turned to Spirit and I said, why do they want to bypass that? Why don't they want to? I thought they wanted to be enlightened. I thought they wanted to connect to Spirit like that. I thought they wanted a peace, you know, on earth. You know, I thought they wanted to do that. That's why they're doing it, right? And Spirit was like, no. Some people don't actually want to do it. They just want to look like they're doing it. Some people don't want to actually, you know, cleanse their own wounds and get rid of distortion, become the best version of themselves. They just want to look like they're doing it. And then Spirit said, some people don't really want to be in a relationship or want to be with the person that they're with, but they want to look like they're in a perfect relationship. Some people don't actually want to be financially liberated and reach that abundance of flow of money. They just want to look like it. That's why people are hiring private jets to take a picture in, but not actually flying in them. That's why people are buying the false designer things, because they want to look like they're rich, but they're not actually. They don't even have a desire for it. It's a look. It's a facade. And in the 3D, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And it's easy to get away with smoke and mirrors, because in the 3D, now a lot of people are accustomed to feeling things out, feeling energy out. But when you have people that are waking up to their own consciousness and their own heart and their deeper levels, that sort of thing doesn't fly with them anymore, because they can actually feel, and it's almost like they're living in a different paradigm. They're not that they're separate or better than anybody, but because they've awoken to something, they've reached a deeper layer, they've gone deeper. So when they're bringing in love and they're bringing in abundance, or they're bringing in because they actually want to bring it in, they're actually applying themselves in the right way, kind of like by the rule book sort of thing, for it to be real, you know. So what they have to do then is do the necessary work to get that. And the thing about you is you're very real, you're very raw. So Spirit's saying your light is coming in, your love is coming in, it's all coming in. And it's not that bad things are happening to you and only you. It's that everything around you that you may be seeing, it may look like gold, but if you scratch it, it's plastic with a gold paint over it, you know. because there's a lot of fake it till you make it, and there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. But and I'm going to say this is just me saying it, you're a real one, right? So when you're reaching a certain level of enlightenment, or you're doing it right, you're actually healing things in your body. You're actually looking your pain in the eye and transmuting it so you can go even deeper. So for you to have a relationship come in, it needs to match that. They need to have done that work too. So you may have been dealing with people that talked a good game, but they were still operating out of their subconscious woundings. They wanted to look the part, whereas you actually wanted to be the part, you know? And that's the thing that I'm being shown. Like, there's a rawness to you. There's a purity to you. So there's like a truth to you. And for that, there has to be a level of weight, because there has to be a level of preparation, you know? That's what I'm being told. It's almost like you're looking at, like, I'm being shown like a street of houses, and all they are is like cardboard houses, painted certain colours, false fruits in the you know, in the window, like false flowers in the window that have been painted on, and they look the part. Whereas you've got this actual house here, and you're building it brick by brick, cementing it in, painting it, and these people are behind their cardboard houses crying because they're not happy, but they want to give off the facade that they are. And you're here really doing the work to have this beautiful home, and looking at these cardboard houses and going, how did they get it so easy? They didn't get it so easy. It's smoke and mirrors. And that's a strong message that Spirit want you to hear right now, because I'm hearing a frustration of you looking at maybe people that hurt you when they're in a relationship, or maybe people that, you know, maybe people that didn't have to work a lot, but they just had things handed to them. But there's always a double-edged sword to it. There's always like a sacrifice that's made with something like that. Yeah, okay, they may look the part and they may have this now, but they're sacrificing something for that, in the sense of they're sacrificing their own heart to be with someone that financially provides for them. You're going to move through life with your heart, because you naturally have a very strong presence spiritually, in the sense of like 5D, 6D, 7D, like your soul is very attached to your higher self. So you come through very genuine. So for you to paint the walls and look a certain way, it would almost like eat you up. It wouldn't make you happy. The same way it's eating other people up, I feel like it would really eat you up, because you're here to be authentic. You're here to actually bring genuine knowledge through, you know, spiritually, you know? Like, you may be going through a dark night of the soul and you're like, well, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. But it's so you can bring through authenticity, because there's something very authentic about you. And anytime something isn't working for you, or it's fallen flat, it's not that you're being punished. It's divine protection. It's divine intervention and divine protection. The best things in life come to those who wait, I'm hearing. But not even just a case of wait. I just think your own integrity, your own morals, your own loyalty to self, your own loyalty to your mission, your own loyalty to your heart keeps you from ever really getting disappointed or settling, so that you can really eat later on, you know? It's like, I'm not going to go to McDonald's because I can make a bomb-ass meal that not only is going to be very tasty, but it's also going to be very healthy for me. And tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to feel really good because I ate that. Whereas someone could eat the McDonald's, you know, it may be a quick satisfaction for the moment, but then they'll feel sluggish all night, and they'll wake up the next morning, they'll have a bad stomach, and they'll not feel very good. They won't feel very vitalized. So Spirit's saying your own truth, your morals, your own integrity, and your loyalty to your heart, I'm being told from Spirit, is your compass in this lifetime. Don't get blindsided by what looks to be, it's like reminding me of like a poison apple. Like Snow White, it may look juicy, but when you turn it the other side, there's like poison in it, it's been bitten, it's rotten, right? So it's like, be aware of that. I'm hearing the Jhené Aiko song Stay Ready, and at the end of the song she has a song called What a Life, and the lyrics say, if everything is dipped in gold, then baby, it will never grow. I feel like you've learned so much from your experiences, so that you can really savor and find depth moving forward. Whereas other people may not want to learn that lesson and run from it. And not only do they not have that depth, but then they can't make themselves any deeper than where they're at. And they can't find anybody any deeper from where they are, because they're almost looking for a savior instead of being their own savior. Because even when people look happy playing the part, they're not. And that's what Spirit literally let me know, that like when people look happy playing the part, a lot of the times they're not, or they're gonna end up paying for it in their own grief or their own regrets later on. So Spirit's saying I'm hearing that song, gotta keep your head up, oh, you know that song? I'm hearing that. I don't know the words, I just shared that come through. But I don't know, Spirit's just almost, it's similar to Pal 1, Spirit's like wrapping you up with a blanket, but Spirit just more so want to let that message be known, like smoke and mirrors. Do not fall for the facades around you. Like, do not fall for, I'm almost being shown like a fun house and everything looks like it's fun. You know what I mean? And someone's like smiling, going around in that circle thing that goes around, when in actuality they're fearing for their lives. Like, I'm being shown that. So it's like, be cautious of who you may be comparing yourself to, or who you may be wanting to be like, or feeling envious of, because it's like, well, how did they have this and that? Because nothing is all it seems, and that's why Spirit want you to really focus on you and being loyal to your own heart. Yeah, that's a strong message. So let's pull some oracle cards. Pile number 2, message from pile number 2, Spirit guides. It's a very different message come through, but I'm being told like it needed a hit who needed to hear it. And that was literally a conversation I had with Spirit. I was like, you know, the way spirituality is trending, I don't understand yet why people don't want to do the work on themselves, you know? I think it's to do with spirituality in ways for you guys as well, because of the howlite and connecting to the crown chakra. Just remember, people just want to look like they're good at something. It doesn't mean that they are, you know? It's like, you may even be scrolling Instagram like that person's life looks perfect, you know? But all the while, you know, they've just like cleaned out one corner of their room to take a photo and everything looks clean, but the other side of their room, it's a mess, you know? So it's like, don't compare, because you don't know what's behind the lens, you know? It could be as simple as that, you know? Or even, there's so much, and I fall into this too, on Instagram and stuff, but the filters, and there's even filters on TikTok now, and I fall into it too. Like when I go to do a story and I haven't got makeup on, I'm like, oh god, I need to put a filter on, I look a bit crazy. And after I do it, I'm like, why did I put that filter on? Why did I do that? So even on Instagram, there's filters, there's Facetune, you know, celebrities with their surgeries and stuff. And I'm not calling anyone out. You do what you need to do that makes you feel good. However, when you're comparing yourself to somebody that may have about 4 filters on and has had surgery to yourself naturally, that's, you know, you're looking at smoke and mirrors there. So there's a strong reference there to remember that. It reminds me as well, I remember wanting, I used to buy my crystals from this particular place, and Spirit came to me in a dream and they'd show me a website I didn't even know it existed yet. And there was one crystal from the shop I was already shopping at, and a website, and the website that I now shop at, it's now called Enter the Stargate, but it was called Mystic Wolf, right? And it just said the Wolf Shop. It didn't say Mystic Wolf, it said the Wolf Shop underneath this one crystal. And then the crystal shop that I used to buy from was there, and the crystal shop that I used to buy from had this massive big crystal. It was really beautiful, right? And the crystal shop, the Wolf Shop, it was this big square crystal. It was like an amethyst, but it didn't look as shiny as the other one. So obviously I was going to go for the other one, right? And Spirit said, yeah, you can go for the other one, because the other one only cost me £1, but the Wolf Shop crystal would have cost me £100. And I thought, that's too much. So I wanted this £1 crystal that was shiny, right? And as I touch the £1 crystal to pick it up, it turns into fabric, and underneath it is coal. It was not a real crystal. And I'm not going to name the shop though. And I was like, oh. And Spirit said, when it's cheap and it looks really shiny and it's too good to be true, it's because it isn't. And then this square crystal, you know, I pick it up and it was heavy and it was right. And the next day I googled Wolf Shop crystals just to see what came up, and Mystic Wolf came up, and this exact crystal that I saw in my dream was the first thing I saw on the website. So that was like an indication from Spirit. I buy from here for now, because yes, it's more expensive. Yes, I have to sacrifice more money, but it's real, it's authentic, and it's raw. So there's something about that. Like, yes, you may be having to spend more money right now and put more effort in right now, but it's because you're going for authenticity, you know? So there's a little story. But yeah, that's quite a strong message here. Pile number 2. We have morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. I'm going to move them like I did with pile 1, so I'll do it like this. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Message from pile number 2, spirit guides. Message from pile number 2's spirit guides. We have the bud, potential, promise. It's about to happen. Keep going. I'm hearing don't take your eye off the prize. The rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. Yeah, I feel like something's about to come in, which is a result of you maybe letting go of old wounds to bring in the new. Letting go and forgiving, you know, an ex to bring in a new relationship. Letting go of your old outdated ways of looking at life to bring in, you know, maybe financial abundance and things like that. So you've really been doing the work, but I feel like you've been doing the work for quite a while, and now you're like, oh, I'm doing all this work and I'm looking to the right and left and everything's coming so easy to people. And Spirit saying, no, keep your head in the game, keep your eye on the prize, because you're about to have that return to you. You know what I mean? You buy cheap ingredients to make a meal, it's never going to taste as good as if you pay up to get the good ingredients to make the right meal, you know? You pay for that £1 chocolate bar and you'll feel sluggish after it. You pay for that £6 tomato and you'll feel good after it. Like, there always comes a level of sacrifice, and some people would rather just facade instead of actually wanting to make it happen. You're making it happen, you know? You're being authentic, so this flower is going to bud. Clarity. So look at that though, like potential, promise, keep going. Clarity, a fresh start. Like, there's so much newness. The rose of Venus coming through. Something to do with a relationship. Maybe you've been looking around you like, why are all my friends in a relationship and not me? Or, you know, I used to do that with a friend. I used to go, why does she, like, she's in a relationship all the time. But yeah, that's the thing, she was in a relationship all the time because she was in a new relationship, you know, every couple of months. And she knows I love her to death. She knows I'll probably be saying this, but she was in a new relationship all the time, and they'd fall apart, and she was never fully happy, and they weren't very good people. I did not like them. But they'd fall apart, and I'd be like, why is she always in a relationship? And I'm always, you know, I'm never in a relationship. And I can see why. I'd rather, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather do some inner work so I don't, because I'd had relationships like that in the past. They were not fun. So, I think that's a strong message coming through. I think it could be something to do. It's either something to do with love or something to do with like your own awakening and connecting to spirit in that way. Because you guys know, like, when you're doing work, you have to really apply yourself to it. And, you know, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. You guys know I did a video last year on how I protect myself and how I open up my chakras. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So it could be something to do with spirituality too. And you know, what you've had to like release and work through to get your blessings. But just remember not to compare yourself, because there's a lot of facades in the physical world, and you want, you know, this fullness and this happiness. So you've been working to get it, and it's coming in, is the message from your spirit guides. So I hope this helped. I hope this brought you clarity. Pile 2, I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So today we are taking a look at what messages your spirit guides have for you right now. So I'm going to start with this deck, and then I'm going to move into the oracle deck. So let's get in. So pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. Straight away I'm being shown the pyramid. So I feel like you're that pile that's very connected to spirit, very psychic. I feel like your third eye, crown chakra, is super open. I feel like you connect, even your soul star chakra, I feel like you're super connected to your Akashic records, super connected to spirit, and I feel like that's your compass in life. Your intuition literally saves you from a lot in life, and I feel like I'm being told to remind you, and I think this reading may be around that. I'm being told to remind you, like, you move through life listening to your intuition. You move through life in a very energetic state. And you use, even though we have to have all our chakras in alignment, I feel like your superpower in this lifetime is your crown chakra, and is your third eye, and is your connection to the divine. And that's a strong message that, yes, everything's physically concrete, and even though you're learning to master the physical realms and bring yourself into the concrete, you also have a superpower of being able to see energy and move through life, being able to see beyond what the physical eye is. So that's a really, really strong message that Spirit want me to reference right away. I'm being shown anchors for anyone that may be a symbol for. So pile number 3, and rabbits. Pile number 3. What message do pile number 3 spirit guides have for them right now? Okay, so we have grounding. Pile number 3. What message do my pile number 3s need to hear right now? Oh. We have calling upon ancestors and loved ones. Pile 3. We have manifestation. Pile 3 spirit guides, please. Pile number 3s. Have you been asking for the answer to something? Like you've been stuck or feeling rigid or stuck or confused, or like I'm being shown fog, like a cloud, and I hear you saying, help me, whether it's spirit guides, ancestors, the universe, like I keep hearing, help me, I feel stuck, I feel stuck. Oh my god, a fly just zoomed into my... I feel like Spirit's really strongly, pile number 3, with you. Even showing that they're with you in the physical. You may have been drawn to a different pile as well, because I think it was pile number 1. There was a wasp trying to get into my window, and there is a fly zooming really loud. So I'm being told to trust even like little things that are happening in the physical right now. Animals that are just showing up. Delays in your routines. Because there's something that you're asking about, and not only is Spirit around you really strong, but they're sending you a lot of like physical messages right now as to where you're at. There's like a stuckness, which is peculiar, I'm being told, for you guys to feel stuck because of how connected you are to Spirit and how you can see life from such a higher point of view, like a bird. Because they're showing me like you move through life, you have your physical body, and then your spiritual body, your higher self, is like right in front of you. And even though physically wise you can't see your higher self, you're energetically following this map that your higher self has put out for you. And I see sometimes I'm being shown like you guys doing something you've never done it before, but you're acing it because your higher self has already downloaded how to do it, like downloaded the cheat code. Or you're making decisions and people are like, I can't believe they're making that decision because that's not going to work out well for them, because they're only seeing what they can see in the physical, and then it works out and they're like, how did you know to do that? And you're like, honestly, I have no idea, I just knew. Like you just have that inner knowing, which is really cool. It's reminding me of when I would channel and connect to Spirit. Never done it in this incarnation, and I just could do it effortlessly, and it would just come to me. And Spirit, like people would say to me, how do you do that? Like, teach me how to do that. I'm like, honestly, I don't even know how to teach you yet, because I don't even know how I'm doing it yet. When I find out what's making me do this, I'll let you know. It's just happening. But it came easy to me because I'd done it so many times in the past that it was just an easy thing. And I feel like that's you. So this rigidness, it almost feels a little bit foreign to you that you're in right now, because it's like, I don't understand. And I think Spirit's coming through to let you know what's causing the friction. They're calling it like a friction, a stuck period, I feel a bit lost, and it's like Spirit's coming through to let you know. But I feel like physically they've also been doing things to kind of get your attention in the physical world. The other day I was about to film and I wasn't feeling right, but I was going to push myself, and my cards that I had on my table behind, because I have a table with all my cards, and I pulled a couple out and left them at the top, and they were fine for about 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden my cards just fell into the middle of the room, and I was like, okay, I've heard you loud and clear, it's fine, I won't film today. So I feel like Spirit's been doing that for you guys a lot, physically getting your attention. You may have even been seeing Spirit strongly, like mediumship wise, like maybe there's something that maybe you're like, I I don't know whether I'm comfortable with it yet, but it's been happening just really quickly for you guys to get this, like, getting your attention sort of thing. So you could have been having like quick clairaudience and then it cuts out if you're not comfortable with clairaudience, or maybe you're not fully like open or, you know, connected to like mediumship yet, or you're not wanting to yet. It's like, I'm not ready for that yet, Spirit, let's hold that at bay. But it's like you're seeing something really quickly and then it's going away, and it's enough that it doesn't scare you, but it gets your attention. And I'm being told it's happening because it's like there's something that they're trying to like get through to you in a way, like trying to get your attention in a way. We have deep sleep as well. We'll see what it is now. But I keep hearing you guys like, someone help me please, and then there's a message about to come through. Or if it doesn't come through in this reading, a message that you'd like, it would come through in maybe somebody else's reading, or it would just come through to you. Maybe you're watching a movie and something clicks, or you know, you find a book that has the answers or something like that. Okay, Spirit Guides, pile 3. What message do my pile number 3s need to hear right now? What do my pile number 3s need to hear right now? Yeah, again, I just heard like a beep. It was like this thing is like almost like distracting me, you know? Okay. Yeah, so like I was saying about the crown chakra, and like I was saying about you connecting with spirit and you being very connected to the higher self, you guys have all of the answers within you. You guys are able to work, how do I explain this? You're able to create from nothing. I feel like you are an alchemist, and I feel like your soul's very aware of that. And I'm being told for you to even just look at your life and how you've turned nothing into something, or how you've beat the odds in some sort of way, or how you've transmuted something heavy, to really look in the mirror and be like, oh yeah, I did that and that. I'm an alchemist. I have all of these answers within me. And there's something right now in your life where you're like feeling stuck, and the only reason you're feeling stuck, it's not because you're stuck, it's not because you're you haven't got the answers or anything like that. It's because you're almost fighting your own intuition or flow right now. Hear me out. When a fish wants to get to A to B, it does not fight the current, it moves with the current. You know, when animals want to live a very balanced life, they listen to the signals of Mother Gaia. They fly south for the winter and east for the whatever the case, right? They listen to that inner compass. There's something you're either wanting to bring into manifestation, or there is just something right now, whether it's you were drawn to pile 1 and it's literally like you need to rest and rejuvenate and you're not wanting to, or it's something really bugging you or feels like a fork in the road. And I see you almost fighting this thing in the road. It's like, I don't like this, get out of my way, or I don't like that this is happening. Spirit's saying there is, how to explain it? Spirit's saying don't look at this as something you want to fight. Hold its hand. You're not fighting this. You want to hold its hand, right? It's reminding me of, like I said in my other reading that you guys would have watched about my PMDD, right? When I'm still trying to work and I'm still trying to fight it and I see it as a villain, it's worse for me, and I'm making it worse for me because I'm trying to push against it when in that moment my body needs balance and it needs to rest, right? And I'm trying to push against it and it makes it harder on me. But when I just, okay, I'm flaring, there's nothing I can do today. There's nothing that I can do to stop myself from flaring hormonally right now. I'm not going to make it worse for myself. Let me go take a nice bath. Let me go garden. Let me go meditate outside. Let me listen to some songs. Let's get a bit of Janae going. And I just flow with it. I can't stop it. I flow with it. And me surrendering to it and listening to these symptoms, hopefully it's leading me to, and I am trusting that it's leading me to cure and a part of it and finding that health within me. So whatever it is, hold its hand. Do not look at it as a threat. Because when we are creating friction, there is always going to be a fight, a fire, you know? There's always going to be that. But when we just allow there to be peace, we're able to like surrender that. You know what I mean? When we put down our weapons, we're able to like surrender to that. And they're showing me something. And my nan actually told me this. It was about the World War, when everyone was up against each other in the World War, right? And obviously you've got one side of people that are being told to fight this side and one side of people being told to fight this side, right? And obviously we're looking at both. There was no need for anyone to die. There was no need for anything like that. You've got people fighting for freedom. You've got people fighting for what they're being told is that, you know, it's their freedom in a way, you know, whether it's being brainwashed or not. And even though they were fighting on Christmas Day, the two sides, they actually called a truce on Christmas Day, and they fought. They had a game of football or something together, which shows that like they were in those circumstances and they were fighting each other. But if everybody collectively was like, I don't want to do this, and put it down, that one person in power that was causing that chaos, they wouldn't have been up against anything, because everyone would have come together and said, no, we want peace, we don't want this, we don't want people to die. It doesn't have to be a power play. No one needs to rule the world. Let's just be calm. Let's all love each other, you know? And for that one day on Christmas Day, they did that. So you're being called to look at something that you're almost fighting right now, understand it, and no longer fight it, but hold its hand and listen to it, you know? That's something really, really strongly coming through. Reminded me of Hermione in Harry Potter when she, the snakes, you know, they were going to strangling them, and she's like, if you relax, they'll let you go. So she surrenders, even though she doesn't want to, and she relaxes and she falls through. So there's something right now that Spirit's saying you have the answers to, but the answers are not going to come when you have the sword in your hand fighting against it. You've got to flow with this. You've got to let it teach you. You've got to befriend it. You've got to understand it. It's like when you see people doing things, it's like in life that aren't like very good. It's like if we just fight them, we're not understanding the core root. We need to understand it, get to that core, and understand where the distortion came in so it doesn't happen again. And we're not going to do that if we're just fighting against it. Because how do you get to like the 4D, the 5D realms? You don't do it by fighting, you know, the darkness and the shadow. You do it by understanding the shadow and rise into the higher realms, because you have the dark and the light. But when you reach 5D, that's when this bird's eye view comes. And you're able to see things from a higher perspective, and the yin and the yang, and they both balance each other out. So there's something about you balancing something right now. And you're only going to be able to hear these messages or understand it if you allow it to teach you. Or even if it's like a job and you're wanting to, maybe there's like a job that's becoming really hard for you to work at right now, or maybe there's a house that's becoming bearable to live in right now, and there's like an essence, what is this teaching me? I'm not going to fight against it. What's it teaching me? You know? And that's the strong message here. It's like when you have like bullies, or do you know what it's like? I remember when I was doing a reading before, and I was still in my dark night of the soul at the time, and I was doing a reading, and it was an ego boost. It was a good reading I was doing. The whole purpose of it was to show my collective that, you know, how great they are basically, and show them where their power was. And I'm doing it, and this energy's coming in, annoying me, and I wasn't scared of it, but I was like, I almost felt like it had power over me in a way, because it was stopping me from doing the reading, and it wouldn't leave me alone. And I said, why are you here? Like, you're stopping this reading now, you've got what you wanted, I'm not filming, why are you here? And she said, you're allowing me to be here. And I said, what do you mean I'm allowing you to be here? And then she was like, it was a female energy. She was like, you've allowed me to stop the reading. You've allowed me to make you scared, even though you're saying you're not. You've allowed me to do that. You've allowed me to take your power away in that moment. And now you're asking me to leave instead of just telling me to go. You're allowing me to be here. And I was like, what do you mean? And then I still couldn't get it. And it was almost like this energy, which was not a nice energy, was almost like teaching me in a way, like, you're telling yourself you're still in this dark night. You're telling yourself that this darkness, it has a say over your life. You know what I mean? You're allowing it. So you're going to keep being miserable because you're allowing it to happen. You're allowing it to have power over you. And in that moment, there was just this click in my mind where I was like, oh my God, your purpose is to distort. So you've distorted my energy now and taught me that my power was not within me and it was actually within you. And you've been distorting my energy because that's your purpose. You're not working to bring this truth. You're working to distort, which is part of the yin yang. And you've actually just taught me, even though you're going against me, you've just taught me that my power is in me and that I actually have control over things. And you've just, in a way, it was almost like my dark night of the soul kind of crushed, because it was like this dark cloud on top of my head, just like, it just popped away. Because I realized that none of that had any power over me. None of that had any control over me. And in turn, this being that I was looking at as negative, because I was looking at it in a defense of fighting, just taught me how powerful I actually am. And I turned to the energy and I was like, oh my God. Because I felt so happy. I was like crying happiness. I was like, I've just come out of this, years of feeling my pain and my shadows. And I turned to this being and I was like, thank you so much. You've just taught me. She said, yeah, that's my job. And I all of a sudden she just dissolved. Like the energy just went away. And I was like, live a good life. Yeah, you live a good life. You've just helped me. And I realized it was that balance. We're taught to see things as negative, so we fight against it. But if we balance it out, it no longer is negative because it no longer has a control over us. We are shown to fear things all of our life. But when we take away that fear, we're no longer fearing it. It's reminding me of like SpongeBob and Patrick from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. And they don't want to go into the swamp with all the Cyclopses and stuff. So they're like, they're too scared to go in, and they don't think they're powerful enough or strong enough to go in. And the mermaid girl comes and she's like, well, I'm going to turn you into men so you can go in and you can get to the other side fine without a scratch on you. So she doesn't actually do anything. She gets 2 pieces of seaweed and she gives them a mustache. And she's like, look, guys, you got a mustache. You're men now. Go into the swamp and save the day. So they've got this energy like, oh my God, we're men now. So they have these little seaweed mustaches and they go marching into the swamp singing that song, now that we're men. And all of a sudden all these Cyclopses that could have eaten them, they're all singing and dancing with them, because it transpires to a point. Look at me finding the depth in SpongeBob. All that, that fear where they could have been eaten, it transpires to a point where these monsters are now singing. They're following the wave and the current, like, yeah, like now that we're men, where they're singing with them. So SpongeBob and Patrick get to the other side of that swamp unscathed because they believed that they could. They believed they were men. So look what happens from just aligning yourself with a belief and not buying into the distortion, not bypassing shadow, because we don't kill the shadow. We understand the shadow. Our shadow self, we don't fight it. When we go into an ego death, when we go into doing shadow work, we come in to fight the shadow. It's like, you're ruining my life. You're in my subconscious. You're ruining my life. We want to fight it. But how you come out of the shadow is you actually hug the shadow and you go, oh my God, you just taught me so much. And you align with your shadow. You don't dissolve it. You get in control of your shadow, so it no longer controls you. You tame the beast, like the strength card. You tame your fears. So there's something right now that you're letting take you out of your energy, and rightfully so, you're fighting it. So you got the right idea that it's taking you. I think you're aware of what it is, so you're fighting it. And Spirit's saying the reason you're feeling stuck is because you're not flowing. Ask whatever it is, or ask Spirit to show you how you can get into alignment with it and allow that to flow. It's reminding me to talk about my PMDD and my hormones and how I am spending a lot of time. That's why I've pulled back a little bit. That's why I'm not filming as much, because my energy right now is going into, okay, physical body. What do we need? What can I do? Where is this coming from? And getting into my Akashic records, like, it's happening. Let me be aware of these symptoms right here. I'm not going to fight them. I'm not going to be scared of them. What's making me feel this way? How can I stop it? How can I gain control over it? And that's something that I'm being shown. Maybe you're going through the same thing as me, because there's something about health here. And there's I forgot the name. Right, I'll have a link in my description box underneath the timestamps to this guy, and he was talking to a woman, and she was talking about how your symptoms are actually telling you things, and how things that come up in the physical body, they are telling you what's actually wrong, so you can kind of heal it. So if it is something to do with like physical, like your physical body, I'll have that in the description box for you. I'll remind myself to put that in. But there's a strong message there. The monster under your bed, you don't bypass it and fear every night and just keep the light on. You're bypassing it. You want to get under the bed with the monster. What are we scared of? What's so scary about you? So there's something you're being asked to hold hands with. It's here to teach you, not not fight you, is a strong message. Yeah. Some of you guys may be going through an ego death. You may be waking up to your shadow. I think that was a big fear when I went through my ego death. Understanding the darkness of the world feared me. I wanted to run away. And it wasn't until I understood it and made peace with my own darkness that I was able to watch it dissolve. Like I just explained the story there. So it could be an ego death and you're fighting it right now, and I understand how scary it can be. But know you're protected. Spirit's physically showing up right now to get your attention. And even sometimes when, you know, in spirit, when you'll see energies, you naturally think, oh, bad. But like even that energy that was naturally coming through to wind me up in that video, she had a strong message for me, and she kind of helped me get out and climb above the yin and the yang to really see both and be like, oh, okay. And help me understand. So that's what I'm being shown here. The power is always within you. That key is always within you. Any time you think that key and the answers are outside of you, it's a complete illusion. It's a complete illusion. Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity. Returning to each other. It's like, say you have a crack in, like, let's say a stone. The only time you'll be able to have that stone come back together and have there not be a chip is if you see that there's a splinter, you get the glue and you kind of like glue it back in. Does that make sense? When there's a crack in a foundation, you want to fill the crack. But unless there's like a big shake up for you to see that the crack's there, you don't know it's there to fill it in. So when these things are coming up, there's something in your energy that you're alchemizing, and you're being told to be reminded you are an alchemist. When there's something not quite right going on in your energy field, whether it's, you know, you're doing shadow work, whatever the case, it's something that's there for you to transmute. And that's the message right now. There's something you're fearing or fighting. We have the rose thread, inner call, soul led, the mystic, live courageously. Inner call. Pile number 3. The fertile void. We have inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret, beginnings. On the back of the deck we have rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. I have that SpongeBob song stuck in my head now. Now that we're men, I have that stuck in my head. I'll put that with that. Okay, Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity, inner call, soul led, the mystic, living courageously. Spirits around you really, really strongly right now helping you, but it's like, again, it's like as soon as the student is ready, the master appears. That's the sort of energy. It's like you realizing it for yourself. I feel like, yeah, again, it's like you're naturally in this state of like, I want to fight. This is annoying me, or this is in my way, or this is a threat to me. But the illusion of it being a threat is what's allowing it to be a threat. You can have, it's like with spiritual gifts, like some people will see them as a curse, but until they master them, that's when they become the gift. Before it becomes a gift, it's a curse because you haven't mastered it, and you want to control something before it controls you. And that's the strong message here. Because the person that's always in control is you. The person that has the key is you. You know what I mean? The person that has all this wisdom, this person that follows their intuition naturally, that's you. Very connected to spirit. But we want to flow. I don't know what it is that you're wanting to fight, but it's time to understand it instead of fighting it. It's time to sit with it instead of running away from it. That's the message here from spirit. I don't know they're not giving me an indication as to what it is, so I don't know. It could be an ego death. It could be something going on with the physical body. It could be a person, I don't know. A wound you're healing that you're wanting to run from. But that's just what Spirit's left me with, and they're like almost tuning out now, like there you go, there's the message. So okay, normally they'll give me more of an indication as to what it is, and even I'm like, I need to know, and Spirit's like, no, we've said what we need to say, it's done, they'll know. I'm like, okay. So that's what I have for you, Pal 3. I really hope that this message did resonate for you and it did bring you clarity. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.